Hey guys, your girl Urban Chick 1. So today I'm going to share with you 5 steps on how to cope when a toxic friendship ends. So if I'm looking over here, that means I'm looking at my notes because I don't want to be rambling. We don't got time for that. So I'm gonna give you the 5 steps that I believe are really good, and then I will also share with you the friendship ending situation that I'm currently going through. All right, so let's get into it. Okay, so the first thing that's recommended is to write a letter or compose of a letter, compose of a goodbye letter. And of course, even though this letter might not be seen by that person, this is a great way to get all your thoughts, to get everything you would want to have told that person just out on paper. So you can literally just take some paper, write it all down, and you can take that letter and then just rip it up. You can write the letter down and rip it up and then just put it in the garbage. Now what I did, I personally just wrote all my thoughts out in a private Facebook group that I have. So there's a private Facebook group that I have, and there's a post that's pinned called Random Thoughts. So I literally just wrote like 5 paragraphs in that just to get it out of my system and just to vent and just to state specific situations as to the reasons why I feel that I feel. And it was very therapeutic, and it just really makes you think over time what has transpired and why the friendship ending might actually be a good thing. Number 2 is you want to stay with the pain. I know that sounds weird. You might think, why would I want to stay with the pain? So you want time to grieve. So a lot of people, whether it's a friendship breakup, they might just go and just start doing other activities with other friends, go out for drinks. Like, even though there's quarantine, people can still meet up for drinks. People can still hang out and go to other people's places, houses, and hang out, maybe do a movie night or what have you. But honestly, that's fine, but don't use that as a crutch to distract you from what has transpired, from the friendship ending. You have to grieve, and it's going to hurt. So you really want time to grieve, because you don't want all that to stay in and just build up over time, and then that can lead to even more baggage in the future, and your future friendships, or even the future relationships you have with other friends or family or significant others. Also, a good reason it's good to really grieve and to stay in that pain is because once you are dealing with that, then you leave time, or you leave a space to heal in the future. Because if you don't grieve, then you'll always be hurt. It'll be hard for you to move on. You'll never get over it. You might even start to become a very toxic person and try to reach out to them, try to still get contact with them in the future. Number 3, you want to fill the space with something new. So even if, like for instance, I'm in quarantine, but I can really focus my mental space on doing other activities, reading, exercising. Like, I will swear, doing a home workout is just, it takes a lot of mental motivation for me. Or even like for me, I like to draw. So drawing, listening to music, painting. I have canvases and paints, I can do that. Or doing hair, like working on my wigs. I have a few wigs I want to dye. So just doing an activity to like I stated for number 3, is to fill the space with something new. Like for instance, even though I do recommend to grieve and to go through that pain, I don't want you to literally just sit in it. And again, all of these tips I'm giving, these are just personal tips that I found online. Okay, this is just my opinion. This is a disclaimer. So if you want any professional help, definitely look into getting therapy or a psychiatrist. But these are just my personal tips. Okay, I'm not a medical licensed therapist or anything of that nature. So if you need professional help to get through a specific breakup that you've had, whether it's with friends, families, whoever it is, then definitely go get that help. But this is just my tips. Okay, so let's go back to what I was saying. Number 4 is to accept that the decision is final and to respect someone's need to end the friendship. I think if you, let's say if the friendship ended, it actually is very toxic to try and reach out, to try and contact them, to try and like keep still try and interact with them, especially if they ended the friendship, because that the fact that they ended it, you have to respect their decision, and especially in that moment in time, they already have a mindset of how they perceive you in order as the reasons why they wanted to end it in the first place. So trying to reach out to them or contact them is just not going to help the situation. You just have to come into terms that this is over, it's ended, and just move on. I know that's a very harsh thing to say, but I definitely believe in it. So even for the situation that I'm currently going through, once they was like gave me the peace sign through text, and then I saw that they blocked my butt on Instagram, I was like, all right, I guess it's over. It is what it is. So I had to block them. I blocked them on my phone. I'm assuming if they blocked me on Instagram, they definitely must have blocked me on their phone. So I was like, all right. So I sent my last text. They probably didn't see it. Just saying, you know what? I don't even remember what I said. I actually deleted the number and I blocked them. But I can't give you word for word. But basically I said, you know what? If you want to just end it and that's what it is, and you don't want to come into terms with what you've done, but you rather just end everything and you want to just peace out, then great. It is what it is and you can take care. Like, they want to end it, then that's fine. I'm going to respect that. I'm going to just cut off ties on my end and just move forward. The friendships ran its course, and honestly, just thinking about a lot of different things, going back to writing my goodbye letter, I realized then this person can't give me what I need from a friend, and I can't give them what they need from a friend until they come into terms with how they act and what they have done in the past. So until they actually come into terms with that, there's no way we can move forward. So there's no point of being friends anymore. So I say that all to say this is to definitely just accept the decision that it is final and just move on. Don't try to contact them, because then it becomes toxic. It's just no reason. They're not going to change. You're not going to change. You guys aren't on the same page. So you guys need to just both move on, okay? Last but not least, let's get into number 5. Don't take it personally. Now you might think, well, how can I not take it personally? If this was like one of my closest friends and didn't work out, how can I not take it personally? And this is a quote that I found online by Miguel Ruiz. So he writes, even when a situation seems so personal, even if others insult you directly, it has nothing to do with you. What they say, what they do, and the opinions they give are according to the arguments they have in their own minds. So if you do not take it personally, you will suffer less, and you'll be able to move on. And then at the end of the day, people just outgrow one another. So there could just be two different perspectives going on, or one person might feel a certain way, and the way they feel might be completely oblivious to another person, because they could just be growing apart, or they could just be changing and just evolving as a person, to the point it doesn't really have anything to really do with that person. I know that sounds a little confusing, but please stick with me. So like I said, number 5 is to just don't take it personally. They have a specific perspective on how they see you, and you have a specific perspective on how they see them. So in the situation that I was in, I felt like that specific friend was just not reliable. They never owned up to their shit. They never was around when I needed them. But whenever they needed me, I was always there, like no matter what. And their excuse, the last time they reached out to me, which the friendship ended today, the last time when they reached out to me and they texted me this morning to say, hey, how I'm doing, I was like, I'm doing great, but I'm trying to find someone to help me with a project, but I know I can't depend on you because you're just not reliable. And their response was just, oh, okay, oh, I'm sorry. And it was just like, that's it? You're sorry? That's not... I was like, well, I'm tired. And they said sorry at least 4 to 5 times. not 4 to 5 times, I would say 3 to 2 times, since I've asked them for help in the past, and they never would fall through. They would just fall off, don't respond to my texts, don't reply 2 to 3 weeks, won't go by. But I was always there when they needed me. No matter how mental my state was, I made time for them. I made sure I just developed the capacity to deal with them and their venting. No matter, even if I just mentally felt like it was draining, I was always there so that they can talk on the phone. But I say all that to say, though that is how I perceive the situation, and that is from my perspective. Them, on the other hand, might have a completely different perspective. They might think they did nothing wrong, which that person doesn't think they do anything wrong. They think they're always right. They might think I'm just being overly sensitive, or what I'm saying is just stupid, because there's been times where that person has talked down to me and made me felt like they really must see me in a light of just being a dumb ass female. So they have a specific perspective of the type of person that I am. And I feel like anytime I express my feelings or I express what I was going through, to them it might have just came off as blah 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 blah, like whatever I had to say was really not that important. It really was just, they just really didn't care. It just felt like they really didn't care. They didn't give a fuck. They just wanted to vent to someone and someone to be there when they needed it. But when it came to me expressing my feelings or dealing with certain situations, or even expressing my opinions on their situation, they didn't really care what I had to say. And if what I said was completely different opinion from what they agreed, their response was, oh, you really making me mad right now. And it's just like, okay, there's two different perspectives, and there's no way the other person can see that person's perspectives. There's no way, if you guys can't come to an understanding, come to a sense of empathy, come to really trying to see where they're coming from, then it's just over. Like, so it's not really that person. Like that person is not a bad person. It's just done. Like, so that's why I say don't take it personally. And that's why it's good to go back to rule number one and write your letter. And to also say that person just I've lost my job. I've been job searching since March. So I've been going through a lot. I've been sad. I've been depressed. I've been going through a lot. But even through this, I still would take their calls and I would still do their FaceTimes. But the last call I had with them was just mentally draining. And I couldn't do it anymore. And I just was thinking about all the times that I would reach out and I just needed like 10 minutes of their time, and they just would ignore my messages. And then their excuse was, well, I just lost my job, so I'm sad. And I'm like, I lost my job since March, and I'm not talking about recently. I'm talking about when you had a job, okay? And you were just not around when I asked for help. You just ignored me. This ain't nothing new, but of course you forgot, because honestly, I'm not that important to you. I'm not that important. Most likely you forgot the other situations where I've asked for help. You ain't gonna remember. I clearly remember. So just to get into detail, so those are my 5 tips. So let's go over them. So number 1, compose a goodbye letter. Number 2, stay with the pain. Number 3, fill the space with something new. Do a new activity. Number 4, accept that decision. That decision is final. Accept that the decision is final. And number 5, don't take it personally. So those are my 5 tips when it comes to getting over a friendship. Now I'm gonna go into detail about what I'm going through. Oh, child. But I am currently I just went through breaking up a friendship with someone I was friends with for probably over 6 years, like at least 6 years, maybe a little bit longer than that. In the beginning, the friendship was okay. It was, always there for support, always seeing a different perspective, a male perspective. Whenever I needed to vent, or if I ever needed advice, they were always there for me. Whenever I needed to talk about very personal experiences or situations that I'm doing, there's certain things that they know about me that literally no one knows about me, not even my family. I felt like that they were a great person for me to lean on and for support. And that's how it began and evolved over time. But recently, it just hasn't been that way. And I just don't know why. Maybe it's because I'm in a different headspace. There's been times where, okay, whatever situation they were going through, if they needed to vent about anything and they needed to vent about, I don't know, relationships, about family life, I was always there to pick up the phone. Like, there were times where I was literally sitting and my boss was right next to me and I kept telling them, I can't take it right now. I'm busy. But they just would not give up. They kept texting me saying, well, I need to talk to you right now. And then it's like, and then they just still called me and just completely disregard the fact that I was busy at that time. And they just started venting over some dumbass experience they had with a past relationship and them dealing with another. It's like, it was just stupid about them. I don't want to go into details. You know, F that. I am going to go into details. This is my channel. I don't give a fuck if they see it. They see it, they see it. So, but basically, their ex cheated on them, and then the side dude tried to contact him, and so he was venting to me about that. Mind you, I'm at work. My boss is right next to me, so I had to focus on the presentation that was done, and they're just going on and I'm just like, I can't talk to you right now about this. So I just let them talk and then just ended the call. It's just ridiculous because it's like, whenever they need me, I'm there. So that's one. Number two, I've been furloughed off of a job since March. I've been depressed. I've been crying. I've been going through a lot of shit. But even though mentally my head is in a different space, whenever they needed me, I'm there. There's been times where I've been so depressed, I would be up till 5, 6 in the morning, and then I would sleep in until like 1 or 2 p.m. the next day. And one time he kept calling me and called like 4 or 5 times, and he kept texting me, hey, are you there? I need to speak to you now. And I'm thinking, okay, maybe something happened, maybe it's an emergency, like what's going on? So I got up, and mind you, I'm just in such a depressed state, but I was like, you know what, let me just answer. I can't do this right now, but I'm still going to be there, still answer, still be in the game with him or whatever. This I'm gonna call him a bitch. This bitch had a nerve to tell me, oh, you know, I was trying to reach you because I sent you a package and it's down. It's like, really? I'm thinking someone died. I'm thinking you got hurt. I'm thinking you're in the hospital. You call me 3 to 4 times. You sending me mad text messages, and you blowing up my phone like, I have to talk to you now. Because of a fucking package. And what I was more mad about is once I got on the FaceTime with them, I'm like, and I was exhausted because, mind you, I was up till 5 and 6 o'clock. So I woke up at 11 and I'm reading all these text messages. So I FaceTime them back and I'm just like, hey, what's up? I was like, I just woke up. Their response was like, what do you mean you just woke up? What's wrong with you? Why are you sleeping in? Who does that? What is wrong with you? And I'm like, are you fucking serious? Like, I just took the time to FaceTime you back, and now you're gonna just belittle me, talk bad about me, tell me why am I doing this? What's wrong with you? Why are you sleeping in? And it's just like, I'm going through so much shit. I don't need this right now. I was so mad. And that's another situation where not only are they not there when I need them, but there's been times where I feel like they've talked down to me, they belittle me, they're extremely judgmental, and it's just like, it's not good to be that way. Not everyone can live their life around your terms. And I'll say this, the turning point for our friendship actually happened last year in 2019, in my perspective. And it was a situation I had with a guy who I had a date, and he did not get off his phone during the date. I was so mad. And mind you, it was nothing serious. This is our first meetup. So I honestly didn't even feel like saying anything. I just ate my food, and he was like, oh, I'm so sorry, I'm just into this game, whatever. But I took my butt home. When I told my friend about this situation, he was so mean, and he spoke down to me, and it was just like, I understand there was different ways I could have handled that date, and there's a certain way you speak to people. And I've told that date situation to other friends that I have, especially other female friends, and then they felt the same way I did. And they was like, okay, it was only the first date. I get you didn't say anything. He should not have been on his phone. Like, that's wrong. Like, why would he do that? That's not cool. You know what? I would have just, did my thing and took my ass home too, because it's not even worth your energy. That's what a lot of my friends. From him, his response was, why didn't you say anything? What's wrong with you? Are you stupid? Like, and then before he even said what he had to say, the first thing he was like, you know what? I'm sorry. What I'm going to say is going to be mean, but... And it's like, no, that's not how you talk to your friends. You shouldn't be mean to your friends. If you want to say something, you can say it, but there's a way you can say it. And now, I admit, like, I should have said something to that person, but honestly, to me, it wasn't really that serious. I just thought it was just mean, and it wasn't nice to be on your phone while someone took the time to spend time with you and meet up for drinks or food. I should have said something, but at the end of the day, there's just a certain way you speak to people. Like, I can say like, okay, hey, girl, you should have probably handled that. You definitely should have. I wish you would have said something to him, because that wasn't right for what he did. Just next time, if you ever feel a certain way, don't be afraid to say it. That's how you should talk to me as a friend. That's how you should talk to me. But, and I've learned from that situation. I'm like, you know what? I should not be afraid to speak up, because there's times where I don't like conflict. And if I'm just meeting someone for the first time, I feel like it's not even worth my energy. Like, anything you do that's red flags, I'm just going to cut you off. Like, why am I going to stick out for this dude? I'm not dating him. This is the first time I met him in person. My friend, I told him that dating situation, this happened in 2019. That's when to me, in my mind, our friendship just turned. So he was so mean. He said, what's wrong with you? What are you doing? Are you stupid? Like, what the hell was you thinking? Like, why would you even go meet up with him? Why wouldn't you even say anything? Like, I don't understand. What's wrong with you? Like, he just kept saying it, and it felt so belittling, to the point where and this is supposed to be my closest friend, so I really believed it. I went home and I cried, and I thought, like, maybe I am stupid. Maybe there's something really wrong with me. Like, maybe I'm just not good enough. Like, maybe I got like, there's nothing, like, maybe there's just something about me that just I can't fix. Like, maybe I really am stupid. Like, I really was, like, things he was saying really hit, and it hurt so bad, and it made me cry. And it was just like, when I explained this to him and I texted him about it, his response was, I'm sorry. And then he sent me dumbass, like, gifts of, like, a teddy bear holding a hug or some dumb shit. And it's just like, that's it. Like, it seems like he just said that just so that I would stop talking about it and that we would just move on. It didn't seem like him was a genuine apology. It didn't seem like he really cared that he hurt my feelings. And from that point on, that happened in 2019. From that point on, I felt like, okay, this is supposed to be a close friend of mine, but obviously I can't tell them certain things because they're extremely judgmental. They will talk down to me. They will make me feel like shit. So I'm not even gonna share them, like, exclusive details about anything, especially not my personal dating life. I might give them a little bit of kiki, like, oh yeah, I'm kind of talking to this guy. Oh yeah, he took me out for dinner or whatever. But that's it. Like, any issues I'm having with that person, I'm not even going to go into detail, just so that they can be extremely judgmental or talk down to me. So from that point on, in my mind, our friendship changed. There were times where I needed him. Like, I took acting classes for 3 years. I know this is a long story, but I'm trying to just give you the breakdown on how things happen. So I've been taking acting classes for 3 years, and I have to do these self-tapes. A self-tape is basically like a digital audition. They'll give you an excerpt from the script, and you act it out, and then you need someone to read as the opposite character. So, and then you record yourself, and then you just submit the tape. You submit the video. It's called a self-tape. So there were times where I needed a male reader, and I would ask them in advance. I'm like, hey, so you have time this week, at least 10 minutes, to help me with a project. And this is free. He doesn't, I'm not asking him for money. I would just ask for 10 minutes of his time. And every time I did that, he literally would just ignore my call. Well, he would ignore my message. And I would not hear from him for about 2 weeks straight. Done. But anytime he needed me, anytime he needed to vent, to talk, I was always there. But there was times I just needed 10 minutes of his time and he just wasn't there. So I just felt like, especially if this is a close friend and I can't depend on you when I need you, but every time you have shit going on, I'm there. Like, so, I know this was a long video, but this was very therapeutic for me. Now, honestly, people don't really be watching my videos anymore, so whatever. Again, if you do like the 5 tips that I've got, if you do want to hear more stories about my experiences, you know, I am going through this friendship breakup, which sucks, but I've been getting through it. I'm a little sad, but I know over time I'll be fine. I've been through situations that have made me really sad before, but I get through them. So I'll get through this. So if you want to hear more stories, just let me know. I know this is very long. I'll try to edit it. Again, this is your girl Urban Chick 1, and if you like my tips, or if you've been through other situations, friendship breakup with a friendship with a friend, please post your experiences below. Let me know how you felt and how you're getting through it and how you dealt with it. Definitely like this video, give it a thumbs up if you like it, turn on your notification settings if you want to see more videos, subscribe to my channel if you haven't. I'll come with more videos, and I will see you very, very soon. Okay, all right, bye.